A supernatural western from Bad Bug Comics, written by Scott Wilkie. Yeah, I'm in. Let's get into it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another rapid review. I know it's been a little bit since I've done one. We've gotten in so many packages of late. We just had to unbox them and share with everybody. But one of the unboxings I was actually able to get what I'm here to talk to you guys about today, and that is Dead End Moon #1. This is the first book I've gotten to read that's written by Scott Wilkie, who is a friend of the channel, just a friend in general. Super cool dude, so I am excited to get some of his work in my hand. And so without further ado, let's just jump right on into it. So, as I said, this is written by Scott Wilkie. Art is by Gwen Tavares, letters by the amazing Dave Lentz, and it was created by Alice and Mike Tiener, who are the people behind Bad Bug Media. So if you ever get a chance, say hi to them on Instagram. They're really cool people. They'll definitely respond back to you. So, the story itself starts out with our main character, known as Maggie Dean, or Magpie as she prefers to be called, and she's got a dude tied up in the middle of the woods who you learn is called Jittery Jack. And you kind of see a little bit of a bounty poster. This guy is known, or wanted I should say, for some pretty crappy stuff. That's all I'm going to say about it. Just leave it at that. But really, she doesn't actually have him there to collect a bounty. She's using him as bait. See, Maggie Dean is not really a bounty hunter of people. She's a bounty hunter of, I guess, spirits, vampires, any of those kind of creatures, stuff like that, evil creatures. And she's basically got him tied up to lure in what you learn is a werewolf, which you see come in for the attack, and then just this epic immediate thing where she flips over the top of his head, shooting him like crazy with the guns, and she gets him. Well, along with this whole thing, Jittery Jack actually ends up getting killed by the werewolf itself. So his spirit is there, and he's just mouthing off to her, saying he's going to haunt her for the rest of her days. One of the things you'll notice about Maggie as you're looking at the main characters, one of her eyes glows purple. Basically, that is a curse that has been put upon her, which allows her, I guess, to see spirits and supernatural things like that, whereas most people probably couldn't. So you see this really cool thing where she says, if you think you're the only spirit that's going to haunt me, you are dead wrong. And it's this epic thing that Gwen drew where it's her on the horse, him standing here, but in the background of the woods is just a line of spirits, and it is such a beautiful panel. Like, that was when I knew I was hooked into the book. It was just, I was like, all right, I'm in for a gorgeous journey. So Magpie basically she cut a clip of the hair, and she's going to meet up with, you learn is Hansel. And I guess she did this in exchange for some information. And what you learn is that I guess she's looking for her father, because several times throughout the book there are a couple of flashbacks to when she was younger, and the first one is her dad reading her a bedtime story, and you learn about this lost city where a conquistador, or someone was basically cursed to not be able to leave the city or walk the rest of the earth immortal, but he can't take the gold from the city. The gold is cursed and cannot leave the town. So that's the tale, and she learns that this place is actually real. It's not a myth. So she's going to this town to figure out the location of what you learn is the dead man. And for whatever reason, she says that she wants to pay him in kind. He took something very valuable from her, and she wants to do the same thing back. We don't know what it is yet. I have my suspicions, but I'm going to wait, because I think issue 2 is the one I just got on Kickstarter recently, so I'm going to wait for that to come in, and let's see if that hashes out a little bit, and see if I'm right about it. But yeah. So she gets into this town, and it is nothing but, you see vamps everywhere. Basically all the mythical creatures you can think of: vampires, werewolves, you know, lichen. I guess lichens are the same thing, but just all these. And you hear Jittery Jack say, "I've never seen so many of these in one place." And Maggie goes, "Neither have I." They walk into the local saloon, and apparently she is looking for a whore that hangs out with the dead man apparently pretty regularly while he's there in town. So she asks the bartender, you know, "I'm looking for, you know, so and so," and she ends up learning that, you know, she's not there tonight, but they say she might be down in the church, you know, confessing. So the next scene is, of course, she walks down to the church, and there is our call girl, that's what we'll call her, there, of course, praying. And she does not want anything to do with Maggie. She starts immediately asking, she goes, "I hear you talk about the dead man." She calls him Arthur. She goes, "Haven't seen him in months, but he never did anything bad. All he ever wanted to do was sit with me and talk to me. He'd sit there and watch me eat, or feed me, basically. And apparently when she slept, he'd sit there and watch her." It's like kind of this weird, creepy vibe. But like I said, she really wants nothing to do with Magpie. She just wants her to leave. And Magpie, you'll learn, is just full of sass and no BS. She will not take any of it. She basically tells her, it's like, "Look, I'm looking for him, and you're going to help me find him." And as they're walking out of town, a group of vampires gets in front of her. And this is what I thought was one of the coolest parts of the book. And I really hope that if this is ever done as like a cartoon or a live action, the way that Gwen drew this shows up really well. So they're basically talking smack to her, and they are threatening to kill her. And she immediately just pulls out one gun, and you see basically the way it's looking like her hand is moving so fast that she fires off, you know, 5 or 6 shots right away, like fast enough that they can't even draw their guns, and boom, these guys are dead. And you literally just see our girl standing there going, "Oh my God, you killed them all. I'm going to go to the mayor about this." And she tells her, it's like, "No. You're not, because everybody here saw you walk out with me, knew I was looking for you, and saw you with me when this happened. So it's not going to bode well for you." So, and I don't know if I've said this yet, but our girl that she's with is called Annabelle. That's her name. So Annabelle basically is roped into going with her because she really does want out of the town. She was sold into being, you know, a whore and whatnot, and she really, really would like to get out of that life, but she doesn't know how. So Magpie tells her, is like, "Look, I'm basically, I guess, the savior you've been praying for, maybe just not the way you would have hoped for." And the book basically ends with them riding out of town, and you get this really cool, like, silhouette drawing. You see the dead man kind of appear out of the shadows. Epic looking character, I will say. And he knows exactly who she is. And yeah, so it was one of those, was truly, truly stunned at how beautiful the book was and just how great the story was to match it. Scott is an amazingly talented writer. Now I understand why Mike Tiner brags about him all the time. and I get it. He's a super talented dude, and I know we've got 2 or 3 others of his books coming. And this is also the first time really that I've ever seen Gwen Tavares art. So, and I will say I am hooked. Gwen is just supreme, and the way she draws the characters, the vibes, and the colors really, really fit this universe. It's an all-around great story. So yeah, and you know me, I'm an art snob, so if I can't enjoy what I'm looking at, I'm probably not going to enjoy the story regardless of how well written it is. I will say this too. The one of the coolest parts for me is the logo on the cover, which you will have seen probably at some point in this video, up here or over here. as I understand, Alice is the one to design the Dead End Moon logo that's on the cover, and it's awesome. I never would have thought to make a rifle part of a letter, and just the way it's done, it you know, I don't say it much when it comes to that kind of stuff, but yeah, that was one of the coolest parts of the book. I think when I saw it, I was just like, that is a very cool and unique way to do something. So I just thought I'd point that out. And of course, Dave has the lettering down pat. The guy's flawless. I mean, I can never complain about that. Honestly, I thought maybe he did the logo, because typically he does lettering and logos, but no, it was Alice. I talked to Mike about it, and he was like, yeah, Alice did the logo. I was like, man, that's awesome. And so I'm going to try to get with them and see if I can find out what program they use for that kind of stuff, so that I can try my hand at it. But yeah, small sidetrack, but yeah, so that is my review of Dead End Moon #1. Again, another smash hit of a comic from Bad Bug Media. They can do no wrong. Jay said it in a previous video, Mike. I'll tell it to you now. If you want me to give you a bad review, write a crappy comic. Make it a free add-on to one of your campaigns. We'll be happy to tell you how bad it is. But until then, man, we're just going to sing the praises of you and every creator and team that you've brought in to write books, and including yourself and your books that you've written. They're all awesome. I truly can say 100% that there's not been a Bad Bug book that I was even on. I've loved every single one of them. So yeah, be sure, we'll leave a link down in the description for Bad Bug's shop, where you can get some of the comics like Dead End Moon #1, Black Jackets, which we've done a review of, Midnight Highway, which we've also done a review of, and that is also coming back to Kickstarter very soon. And the nice thing about when they do a new Kickstarter campaign is, pretty much if there is a comic that came out on a Kickstarter, even if it was like just before, like a couple weeks, a month before, you can generally get it as an add-on, so you can pretty much get their entire catalog. If it's something that, even if it's something they might not have on the website, you can probably get it through a Kickstarter campaign. And that is probably one of the coolest parts about them, and is a way for you to really jump into their universe and what they've got going on. So yeah, as always, if you guys liked what you saw, be sure to hit the subscribe button, click the notification bell, so that you know anytime we upload a new video. Be sure to give us a thumbs up if at any point in this video you liked what you heard. Let me know down in the comments, have you read Dead End Moon? You know, what did you think? Do you like it as much as I do? Or just any Bad Bug book? You know, let me know what you're thinking. I know we've been doing a lot of their stuff lately, and for good reason. And we really want to know if you guys like it as much as we do, and I'm sure they would love to hear the feedback as well. As always, please stay safe, stay healthy. We'll catch you guys next time. Later, everybody.